History remembers some names and forgets others. One man ended in old age and started a new one. The other punished people with great cruelty. One ruled with justice. The other ruled with fear. But there is a truth that very few people know. Fatih Sultan Mehmed and Count Dracula, they once lived in the same palace. This is not a vampire story. This is history written with blood. And now the story of the shadow and the throne begins. This story will not end here, because some darkness becomes stronger when it is told. If you want to hear what happens next, if you do not want to miss the bloody secrets hidden in history, subscribe to the channel, because in the next story, there will be more blood, more darkness, and less mercy. Long ago, in the 15th century, Europe and the Ottoman Empire stood face to face. This was a time of war, fear, and blood. One man changed history with his mind and power. His name was Fatih Sultan Mehmed. Another man ruled with fear and darkness. His name was Vlad Tepes, known later as Count Dracula. Few people know this, but once these two men lived under the same roof. Vlad was a young prince from Wallachia. As a child, he was sent to the Ottoman palace as a hostage. This was the price of peace. In the palace, Vlad met another boy. Mehmed was calm, smart, and curious. He loved books, maps, and history. He believed power should come from knowledge. Vlad was quiet and cold. He did not trust anyone. At night, he had bad dreams full of blood and screams. The two boys were very different. One looked to the future with hope. The other looked into the dark. In the 15th century, the world was full of war and danger. Kingdoms fought for land, power, and control. Life was short, and death was always close. In the East, the Ottoman Empire was rising. It was strong, organized, and growing every year. In the West and North, small kingdoms tried to survive between great powers. Two men were born into this violent world. One would be remembered as a great ruler and builder of cities. The other would be remembered as a dark legend of blood and fear. Their names were Fatih Sultan Mehmed and Vlad Tepes. Vlad was born in Wallachia, a land of forests, mountains, and deep shadows. His father was a ruler, but his land was weak. To stay alive, Wallachia had to obey stronger powers. When Vlad was still a child, his father sent him to the Ottoman court. This was not a visit. It was a warning. Vlad was a hostage. He lived in the palace with guards, teachers, and rules. He had food, clothes, and education, but he did not have freedom. At night, Vlad felt alone. He remembered his homeland. He remembered fear. Fear grew inside him. In the palace, Vlad met another boy. His name was Mehmed. Mehmed was different. He asked questions. He read books. He studied history and war. He wanted to understand the world. Vlad watched him in silence. Mehmed believed knowledge was power. Vlad believed fear was power. They sometimes talked, but they were never friends. At night, Mehmed dreamed of cities and walls. Vlad dreamed of screams and blood. Years passed. Mehmed became sultan. He conquered Constantinople and changed history. He built mosques, schools, and laws. He believed order was stronger than fear. Vlad returned to Wallachia. His land was broken. His people were poor. His enemies were everywhere. Vlad chose fear. He punished enemies in the most cruel ways. He used wooden stakes. He made people watch. Fear became his army. People began to call Vlad by a new name, the Impaler. Villages were silent when he passed. Children cried. Adults prayed. Vlad believed pain brought control. He ate meals near dying people. He watched without emotion. Some said he smiled. Vlad stopped obeying the Ottomans. He killed soldiers and sent their bodies back as a message. Fatih Sultan Mehmed could not accept this. In 1462, the Ottoman army marched north. They entered a land of darkness. The army saw a terrible sight, thousands of bodies on wooden stakes. The smell of death filled the air. Even brave soldiers felt sick. Fatih looked carefully. "This man rules with fear," he said. "Fear always destroys itself." One night, Vlad attacked. The camp was quiet. The moon was hidden. Knives moved in the dark. Vlad searched for the Sultan. He failed. The attack ended in chaos. Vlad lost power. He ran west. Stories followed him. People said he drank blood. They said he never died. His name became Dracula. Fatih ruled with vision. Vlad lived in shadows. One became history. The other became legend. This story is not finished. If you want to hear more dark history and hidden stories, after his defeat, Vlad hid in dark castles and cold forests. He trusted no one. Every shadow felt alive. Every sound felt dangerous. At night, he heard voices. They spoke softly, like the wind through dead trees. "You are strong," they said. "You are feared," they said. Vlad believed them. He stopped sleeping. Well, his dreams were full of fire, blood, and long screams. He often woke up with his hands shaking. Vlad believed blood was not only death to him, blood was control. When he punished people, he watched their faces closely. He wanted to see the moment when hope died. This moment made him feel alive. People whispered new stories. They said Vlad drank blood to stay strong. They said he could not die. Vlad did not stop these stories. Fear worked better when people believed lies. Vlad was captured and taken west. In Europe, writers and travelers told stories about him. Each story was darker than the last. They said he slept during the day. They said he walked at night. They said he was more monster than man. The name Dracula became famous. The man was slowly turning into a legend. While Vlad lived in fear, Fatih Sultan Mehmed ruled an empire. He walked through Istanbul and watched the city grow. He listened to scholars. He wrote laws. He believed true power came from order and justice. Sometimes he remembered Vlad. He wondered how two boys from the same palace could become so different. Vlad chose fear. Fatih chose responsibility. One destroyed his enemies and his own mind. The other built a future. History watched both men. Vlad disappeared from history, but his story stayed alive. People told it near fires at night. Parents warned children with his name. Dracula became something more than human. Fear gave him new life. Some men change the world with cities and laws. Some change it with fear and blood. Fatih Sultan Mehmed became a symbol of history. Dracula became a symbol of darkness. Both are remembered. This story is over, but the darkness is not. If you want to hear more forgotten history and dark legends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because some shadows never die.